Hello, welcome to Happy Little Yarn, episode 115. My name's Amy. I come to you from Leesburg, Georgia, and this is where I like to talk about my knitting and sewing. Today we have some sewing. I have not done much this week. I have one whip, no FOs to show you today. A couple acquisitions, actually one acquisition, one thing for Stitch Quest, and some sewing. Does that sound like your cup of tea? Then come on. Or cup of coffee, like I have. I just made it, so it might be too hot. I'm going to let it cool. I feel a little out of sorts today. I don't know why. But let's just get started with the knitting. So, the only thing have I become a monogamous knitter? Is this an issue? I feel like it's an issue. For content, at least. I only want to knit on one thing until I get tired of it, and then I want to knit on something else. So really, it's not monogamous knitter. It's what I feel like doing knitter. I don't know. But, did I bring... I don't know what I did with the yarn band to the yarn. Yeah, I cleaned up my shelves last weekend a little bit. You can see some empty space there, and there's a lot of empty space on those two shelves. Look at that. Boom, boom. I cleaned out my office last week, or craft room, and my craft room closet. And I took some of the yarn that was in here and put it in the craft room closet. So it's a little bare back there now. A little room for more, which I don't need. I know, I'm fully aware I don't need more yarn. But, you know what? When I die, I'm taking it with me. I am. I told James, my husband, Man Bear Pig. It's like, when I die, bury me with my yarn. Done deal. Gonna need a big casket. Anyways, let's not talk morbid stuff. Let's talk knitting. Okay, so I'm using the Pretty Twisted yarns. Something to do with snozberries. I can't remember the name of this. I have the yarn band somewhere around here. I just don't know what I did with it. Anyways, I don't think she has this colorway anymore anyway. So, it's from Pretty Twisted Yarn. It's her Posh DK, which is 8515 Superwash Merino Nylon. And I'm knitting the sock that I was knitting on last week. I was right here last week. I had just started the cuff. Finished the cuff, and I messed up the stitch count again. I can't math. I can't picture it out, and I have to, I don't know. I needed like grid paper or something, but I just went with in a row instead of zigzagging the eyelets. So I'm just doing yarn overs. I think it looks pretty cool, to be honest. It goes all the way around, and this is where I'm going to insert my heel, where that purple light bulb stitch marker is. And I'm knitting plain stockinette on the foot part. And then I'm putting eyelets yarn overs on the top of the foot. It's really pretty. It's a nice little knit. I almost picked up the Saggy Boo blanket last night to knit on. The anthology throw. But, it was late. I knit more last night than I had all week. It's been a stressful week. I had an event at work yesterday, on Thursday, that required a lot of my time this week, mentally and physically, at home. I'll talk about it in life stuff, but that's why I didn't really knit much this week, because I had the time, I just wasn't with it. That's my sock progress. I'm going to take this stitch marker out. That's pretty good. I mean, I knit from there to there. It could be better. It could be better. My hair is growing out, and I washed it this morning, and it's doing that little, where it's getting longer, it's getting kind of flatter, unless I floof it up. So let's put a stitch marker where I'm at now so I don't forget. There we go. So next time we'll see how far I get if I knit on this. Okay. Next, let's talk about what I've been sewing. And last weekend I started sewing. I have this pile of pieces, pattern pieces that I've cut out, ironed and interfaced, and just never got to. So they live under my desk in this little area. Most of it's Halloween themed ones. There's different sizes, different colors, different patterns. Here's a cat one. There's even some Christmas in here. I saw a Christmas one the other day, but I have a lot of pattern pieces already cut out. And I hate cutting out fabric, and I hate ironing fabric, and I don't like interfacing fabric. So I thought, why don't I want to sew, but I don't want to cut anything, so let me just see what I've got. So I got started on these fun little Halloween-ish, fall-ish bags. Summerween even. If you want to stretch it to summer, Summerween bags are on the horizon. Got the drawstring channels kind of fixed. This is what it'll look like. These are the smalls. And it'll have pockets on the inside. Drawstring bag. Yeah, I mean right now it's just a hollow bag. It's not finished. I have 5 of the smalls I'm sewing right now, and I couldn't decide on a handle to go with it. So I have this webbing. I have like this neon orange and black. And neither one of them really go that well. The black is too dark and it doesn't pop, and the orange is too bright and doesn't match and pops too much. So I found some webbing and I ordered it. It came in yesterday. It's a bit dustier. This one's a bit more neon and shiny. This is more matte and dusty. So I think this one is going to work very well as the handle on the bag. I think it goes very well with orange. So those are my Summerween 2025. We'll call this every year. I feel like I'm just going to start Halloween bags early because they're what I like to sew. Summerween bag 2025. Right here, baby. I love the plaid at the bottom. I don't know, is that gingham or plaid? Or plaid is gingham? I don't know. But I love doing these little details with plaid on the bags. Look at the bat. Freaking bats. I love it. A little blue bat. It's got little fun things all in it. Ghosts, flowers, pumpkins, bats. And I have a bunch of mediums and a couple larges. And some smalls. I don't know how much I have of each. I know I'm working on 5 of these smalls right now. If you hear somebody giggling, that's my daughter in the next room. She's a giggle butt. She's 21-year-old, but she's got a good sense of humor like her daddy. Hear that? She's listening to something on YouTube, I'm sure. Okay, let's talk a little bit about acquisitions. I only bought one thing that came in. The Fashion School Dropout I Would Die For You monthly yarn colorway came in. Based on the Romeo and Juliet with Leonardo DiCaprio. This one is Verona's Summer, the May 2025. And I've been ordering DK, and for some reason I ordered sock this time. So, it's a 75-25 2-ply twist construction. It's usually not my vibe, not my jam, not my thing, but I like it. I think it looks pretty cool. I'll have to make like a scarf or what are those little thin scarf things that people wear. Could knit that with it. It's usually fingering weight patterns. But I really like it. I think the colorway is stunning. But I'll just order DK when I order June's. Kind of hate I messed that one up. I was trying to get all DK. But I love it. The colorway is stunning. Look at that. It's like a dusty pinky red, purplish plum. I don't know. And this gold, orangey looking color. So pretty. It goes very well with the theme. I really do need to rewatch this movie. It was a pretty good movie from what I remember, and the soundtrack is awesome. Okay, the other acquisition I got, which is not acquisition, Katie of Katie Randomness makes bags for Stitch Quest. She's a official vendor for Stitch Quest 2025. And she sent me the quarter 2 bag for Stitch Quest to give away as a prize for quarter 2, which ends June 30th. I'm going to try to reach out to Stitching with Yarn, who is the official yarn vendor, and try to see if I can get quarter 2 yarn to go with the bag for a winner. So we'll have 2 winners so far for quarter 2. So if you're participating in Stitch Quest, make sure you enter in Artisans Guild on Ravelry. Under the Ravelry group is Stitch Quest, and the thread is Artisans Guild. And if you want to win this bag and some yarn, or the other prize pack that I showed earlier in the quarter, just enter your prizes through that Google form, and you'll have a chance to win. Not much going on in Stitch Quest these days. It's not much activity. I'm trying to get together something to do for the Knit in Public weekend. Worldwide Knit in Public Day. I think it's the 14th, because Father's Day is on the 15th. So I think it's the 14th. Let me look. Yes. I think it is. But if you want a chance to win, knit something, put it in a Google form, read the rules, and make sure it qualifies, but you could have a chance to win this amazing dragon bag from Katie's Randomness. This is the back. I don't know if this is the back or the front, but I call it the back. And that's the front. And it has this pocket. And the inside is hot pink. Very beautiful pink. Thank you, Katie, for donating that to Stitch Quest. And I think that's all I have. I mean, it's only 13 minutes, and that's all I have. A little bit about life. This week at work, we had a carnival for the individuals in our program. If you don't know, I work for a company that provides services for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. So everybody in our programs came out to our office. I work at the headquarter office for our region. I'm the director of accounting there. And I volunteered my department, the accounting department, to do a photo booth. Well, we ordered some photo props, like circus themed photo props, and a circus themed backdrop for the pictures to be against. It was so cute. It turned out super cute, but I was so stressed all week because I was like, I don't want people taking pictures on their personal phone. I don't want to get a camera. I don't know how we're going to print them right away. And I got a Canon IV printer, and I thought I had it all figured out. I had an old cell phone I formatted, factory format. I hooked it up to my work Gmail, hooked it up to the Wi-Fi so the photos would sync with Google Photos, and then Google Photos would sync up with my cell phone, my personal cell phone, to which I could hit print to the Canon IV printer. Is that confusing enough? Because it took a lot of thought. Well, we got to the building, had everything working perfectly. It took all week to figure all this out and get it set up. There was no signal in the building we were in. So the photos did not upload until we got back to the front building. All that for nothing. So I got all the pictures printed out, and we're putting them on these little styrofoam cutouts with Spring Carnival 2025 on it, and they turned out so cute. Everybody had hats and big sunglasses and little props like balloons they were holding and stuff. It was so cute. Everything turned out so good. Everybody loved the pictures, and I think they're going to do something with the pictures, so it was very exciting that my booth turned out so, or our booth turned out so successfully. It was a lot of work. And my social battery was dead that day. Dead as lead. It was an hour and a half long. On the way out, I stopped at the icy truck and made myself an icy and put probably a gallon of grape syrup on it. So good. And then I went to my office. I closed my office door. Sat in silence for about half an hour. Just recharging those batteries. Overstimulated? Yes, I was. I'm not used to peopling and being so outgoing and smiley all day. It was really hard to do for an hour and a half. Yes, that exhausted me. Yes, I know that's pathetic. I don't care. That's just who I am. I'm not a socializing, people-y person. And we took over 50 pictures, I think. It was fun, though. It was fun. It's fun. Let's see. This weekend, I just plan on knitting and sewing all weekend. I think I'm going to go in the living room and sew till I have to cook dinner. Tomorrow, I want to sew all day. I want to go somewhere tomorrow, probably like Target. Just to get out and walk around. Might need a few things I need to pick up. I don't know. But overall, the week was really just mentally draining trying to figure out that whole process of how to get the photo booth set up. But I pulled it through. I don't know how we would have done it any other way without, like, HIPAA violations and stuff like that. So hopefully I didn't violate anything, but who knows? It was fun. Anyways, how are y'all doing? What are you working on? Watching anything good these days? Tell me what's up. Are you going to do some spring cleaning but while it's still spring? Because that's what I want to do this weekend. I want to go in my daughter's room, clean out all the old stuff, bring in a desk because we're trying to get back into college this fall. And she's going to need a desk to put her laptop on and do work. But I got to get rid of some old stuff in there that she needs to part with. I feel like just sending her off to Grandma's house for the weekend and just doing it. I wouldn't do that. Okay. Well, I hope y'all have a great day, great night, whatever time you're watching this, and I will see you next week. Bye.